So it makes perfect sense why information can be conflicting or confusing, and Sherry did a great job of explaining that. We sometimes forget that our ancestors lived in drastically different worlds and times from ours today, and to really understand their lives, we have to learn about the time in which they lived in history.
Which in John Drew's case was the Civil War.
Yes. So when John Drew came to Kentucky in the 1830s, slavery was legal in the state. It would remain legal until December 18th, 1865, when the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified nationally. Abolitionist missionaries started working in Kentucky in the decades leading up to the Civil War. They had a twofold purpose. One, of course, to end slavery. The other was to convert people to Christianity. Often these missionaries came from other states like Ohio. But one of the most famous abolitionist missionaries in Kentucky was born here. Dr. Alistine Turley, director of the Carter G. Woodson Center for Interracial Education at Berea College, is going to tell us more.
John Greg Fee was born into a slaveholding family in Bracken County, Kentucky, who came to Madison County in the 1850s at the behest of Cassius Marcellus Clay to help him establish anti-slavery church here in the Glades in Madison County. And his work continued as an anti-slavery educator and minister, primarily in the Appalachian South. Fee worked primarily with ministers from around the country, as well as many people in Kentucky who had been abandoned by the anti-slavery cause by the 1850s. So he worked primarily with ministers, did not matter the denomination. Under Fee, the church and education were one and the same. So he did not believe you could be a Christian and not be able to read and understand the Gospels. He felt that education was part of creating a free man. So having an education allowed you to be integrated into the American society and reap the benefits of an American society. And he thought that included women, it included slaves, it included Indians, it included anyone who was seeking an education. So by the 1850s, when he's here in Berea, he has already gathered together all the remaining Kentucky abolitionists, and these are his cohorts. So I think it's important for people to understand that John Greg Fee not only established Berea College, but through the assistance of the American Missionary Associations, established many schools to teach African Americans across the state and in the region, not just Berea College. And that he did so because he believed in the power of education to bring together community.